In this video, we are going to create these small buttons right here, this guy and this guy. And again, we are going to repurpose one of our buttons that we just created in one of the previous videos. So I'm going to grab this guy this time and move it, well, clone it to the right by pressing and holding down the Alt key or Option if you're on a Mac. And this time, I'm just going to need two fills. So I'm not going to use, not going to need the stroke. I think I'm going to maybe leave this fill, so I'm going to get rid of this fill like that, and I'm going to get rid, which one is this? This is this guy, so I'm going to get rid of it as well, just like so, and I'm going to be left just with these two fills like so. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to grab the rectangle tool and create a rectangle that is going to look something like so, and I want it to have a stroke, this slider stroke right here, and I don't want it to have any fill. So I'm going to remove the fill and I'm going to leave it, I'm going to leave just stroke, and I don't need this fill either, just like so. And maybe let me just move it down here and make it just a bit smaller, just like that. And let me just increase the stroke value because I want this rectangle to be thicker. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to select it and copy it into my clipboard. This is an important step right here. I'm simply copying it into my clipboard because what I want to do right now is I want to cut this bottom right corner with the scissors tool and then paste this the same shape back again, so the ultimate effect looks something like this. So I'm simply going to maybe zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to grab the scissors tool, which has a handy shortcut of the letter C. And by the way, if you don't know how to use the scissors tool, just take a look at my every Adobe Illustrator explained tool class just on the scissors tool. So I'm simply going to find the intersection between these two anchor points and that I'm going to cut this this path in half somewhere here, and then I'm going to do the same somewhere here, like so. Now with the direct selection tool, I can simply just grab this path, and you can see that we can drag it away just like so and simply delete it just like that. And now since I have this original path copied into my clipboard, I can paste it back again right here, and I can reposition it somewhere here that it's going to look something like that. This should be fine. However, we are not done yet. I mean, if we just leave it as strokes, the stroke is going to change whenever we change the size of our button. So I don't want to these stroke values to readjust whenever I am changing the size of my button. So I want to change or turn the stroke into a fill. So with these guys selected, I'm going to go to the object menu, I'm going to go to path, and I'm going to choose outline stroke, which essentially changes the stroke into a fill, which we can see even here, down here in the color tool, in our tools panel down here. The last thing I need here is to make sure that these boxes are aligned perfectly in relation to the underlying ellipse. So I'm simply going to select these boxes, and I'm going to shift click on this ellipse right here and then click on it, not shift click on it again to make it my key object. And then I'm going to go to align, to the align option in the control panel, and I'm simply going to click horizontal align center and vertical align center, just like so, to make sure that these guys are perfectly aligned in relation to the underlying ellipse. So that's one button. So what about the second button? Well, the second button, which is this guy right here, as you can see, is extremely simple. But what I would like to make sure, what I would like to be sure about is that these bars are exactly the same height and the same width as this box right here. Well, this edge of the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the rectangle tool and start creating my rectangle from this top right anchor point and bring it down and to this edge right here. And if you can see it, because I bet that you can't, let me just make it a different color. And you can see that by doing so, this guy is exactly the same size as the edge of the box. So I'm going to get rid of those boxes, and I'm going to give this guy a proper color, just like so. And I'm going to move it to the center, just like that. And now I'm going to move it down. I'm going to clone it down actually by pressing both the Shift and Alt key on my keyboard. and then I'm going to press Ctrl D to duplicate the last transformation. And again, the only thing that I want to be sure about is that these guys are perfectly aligned in relation to the underline ellipse. So I'm simply going to grab all these guys, group them, and then shift click on the underline ellipse and click on it again to make it a key object. And in the align panel, just align these guys perfectly, well, horizontally and vertically, just like so.